I'm Kyle Kaufman. I'm an attorney who practices family law in Wisconsin. Now, I focus on things like divorce, child custody, child support, spousal support, termination of parental rights, adoption, and guardianship. But we are more than just a law firm. We believe in transformation. We find that people that work with us and our clients, they leave us feeling more confident about their relationships with their children, how they feel about their finances, and ultimately, they're more confident in their purpose in life. I've been wanting to make a video for a long time, and I wanted to make this video to explain to people the common things that prevent them from having a fulfilling and meaningful relationship with their children. So somebody might look at this and say, are these things that I need to avoid or the things that I need to do in order to win my custody battle? And I could answer that, sure, but it's more than just the outcome. It's really about who you become in this process to yourself and who you become to your children. And that is the real reward in this process. It's not who wins the custody battle. It's who you are in the eyes of your children that matters. A lot of the work that needs to be done in a custody matter are things that frankly should have been corrected in the past. When clients come to me, I meet them at that point, and I cannot change the way that they acted in the past, right? I can only hope to transform them moving forward. So let's start this discussion by talking about communication. Communication with your children is extremely important. Your children need to know that they are important to you, that they matter, and that starts with you telling them that. Tell your children that you love them. Tell your children that they are worthwhile, and that you, in fact, are learning from them every day. Your children help to shape you. They ask questions. They have demands, right? How do you react to that? How do you approach those situations? If you want to have custody of your kids going through a family law matter, then you better be a great communicator. So don't send nasty text messages to your kids, complaining to them about them, telling them they're bad kids or that they're a problem or making life hard on you. Don't say this to them either. For some of you, this is a no-brainer, but you would be surprised. I see and I read a lot in our family law cases, and some parents frankly speak very poorly to their children. They call them names. They shame them. They put them down. They tell their kids they're not important. Why? I don't know. But most of the time, I think it's because that parent was likely raised that way. It's all they know. They repeat what their parents said to them. So what you need to do is you need to break the cycle. Tell them how important they are to you and to the world. Lift their spirits. Send them encouraging text messages and say supportive things to your children. If you care about your kids, here's the other thing. You can't be drunk. You can't be a drug abuser. Kids need your help. They need medical care, schoolwork, transportation. Sometimes maybe it's a situation with their friend. They come to you for help. They just want to talk. You're your child's first teacher and a mentor and an example. And if you're drunk all the time, you lack any credibility with your kids. They'll see right through you. They'll see what's important to you. Substances, getting high, blasting music, hiding in the garage or in the basement, at the bar or out on the streets with your friends. Now your kids want you home. They want you in the living room, at the kitchen table. They want you sober. Why? They want your attention. They want your advice. They want your love. They want your example. And if your example is to get drunk or high and ignore your kids, guess how your kids are going to treat you? They're going to ignore you, and regrettably, when they become adults and they are met with hard times, they unfortunately may end up modeling your poor parenting behavior and unfortunately treating their own kids, your grandkids, just like how you treated your children. So here's the thing, you have to be sober and present. Getting drunk and high will cause you to lose your custody matter, no doubt. Question for you folks, where are you standing? Think about that. Where are your feet? What are you doing for your kids? Are you actually present in their life? I'm not just talking about messaging them on Snapchat or text messages. I'm talking about physical presence. Stand where they are, in their home, at their events, at their school, their medical appointments. If you're out of sight, guess what? You are out of mind. Now, I understand you have a career. You have a job, you got a business, you have your own interests. That's natural. I'm not saying that you need to abandon all of that and hover over your kids at all times. Kids do need space, but you do need to be present for them. If you're not, your kids will see you as someone who just isn't there, who does not care, who is not involved. And that's just a reality. So here are a few don'ts. Do not work excessively. Don't hang out in the garage when you get home from work. Don't hang out with your friends all the time. What you need to do is have a balance. Find ways to provide transportation for your kids, to see their friends, for example, or drop them off and pick them up from school or if they're involved in sports and clubs and other events, just being part of the transportation, getting them to where they need to go is huge for kids. Find ways to attend their medical appointments. Doesn't have to be all of them, but it should be a lot of them. Invite your children into your hobbies. If you like to fish or play pickleball, invite them to come along. If you like knitting, shopping, walking, painting, or crafting, get your kids involved. And you can also be present in their hobbies. What are your kids interested in? It might not be things that you like, but if you ask them what they like to do on their free time, you'll discover more about their interests, and you can then do it with them, and your kids will really appreciate that. Another thing you need to avoid in a custody matter is cheating on your spouse. Now, if it happened, it already happened. Can't change that. But what I've seen is that cheating on your spouse can be detrimental to the relationship with your children. Your kids see it, frankly, as a betrayal on your spouse, on them, on the family, and for the kids, on their entire existence. They start to question whether any of it was real. And cheating can cause scarring, deep emotional scarring, and it's very hard on your children. So, regrettably, if you're someone who cheated, you have to deal with the consequence of that. Blaming the cheating on your spouse or your kids, that is not going to help. If you cheated, and if the kids are aware of this, the very worst thing you can do is point the finger at someone else. And I've actually seen this. Tell your kids you cheated because it was your spouse's fault. That is not going to help you get custody of your children. Your kids will actually resent you for that. They will defend your spouse. They will, in fact, likely be disgusted by your behavior. In your custody matter, you have to own your actions. That means accepting responsibility. If your kids are confused and they're upset by what you're doing, you have to find ways to support them, to rebuild that trust. And trust starts with holding yourself accountable. So do that, number one. Hold yourself accountable for your actions, for your behavior, and then work on strengthening the relationship with your kids. If you don't, what's going to happen is your kids will walk away or they'll feel pushed away. Now, we talked earlier about being present for your kids in their lives and at their events, and that means you have to make some changes to your life. You're going to have to stop or alter other things. And what I mean is that maybe you stop working overtime. You choose something different. You stop working weekends. You don't work on holidays. So if you work less, maybe instead of using your vacation to get away to your cabin alone, you use your vacation to come into their classroom and volunteer. Or you use your vacation time to take a shopping trip after school with your kids. What I'm getting after is that you can in no way communicate to your kids that you do not have time for them. Do not say things like that to your kids, like, I don't have time for you because I'm working too much. Don't say, well, gosh, if your mom would just get a job, then I could work less and then I can come to your soccer. Don't do that. That is not going to work. To be successful with your kids, especially when going through these custody and placement changes, you are the one who has to change. You have to examine your life and you have to determine what is the priority here. If for you, the priority in your life is your kids, then make them your priority. Sure, we all need income. We need that to provide food, shelter, clothing, and transportation. So you have to do that too. But you have to do it in a way that has balance. Too extreme on one end builds an extreme on the other, right? Working too much to pay the bills means too little time with your kids. So maybe the bills wouldn't be so much if you're present for them. Instead of working so much, find ways to make affordable meals with them, teach them and care for them. Find ways that you are investing in them instead of investing in other people to spend time with your kids. I want to encourage you to find ways to make money when your kids are not present with you, not on your parenting time, right? So when you're working, work. And when you're on your parenting time, parent. Don't mix the two. Now, you have a car, right? You have the keys to your car, and you know that the keys to your car, you put them in, the car works, it drives. So the key to your relationship with your kids to make it successful, to make it drive, are really important. Remember the key points we talked about here. Communicate well, often. Use encouraging and supportive words. Stand where your kids are, go to their events. Get involved in their interests and include them in yours. Take responsibility for your own actions and behaviors. Blaming your spouse and kids won't work. And change your habits and routines. Stop overworking. Create spaces for you and your children. At HKK Law Offices, we love helping people through their family law matters. Contact us at www.hkklawoffices.com and we can help you with a free strategy session to discuss your matter.